Hello everybody, this is a kind of anchovy from Japan. Besides using it for soup, I'm going to turn it into a snack. In this video, I'll show you how I prepare it. I rinse it until the water is kind of clear, and I have been draining it like this for about at least 2 hours. The drier it is, the better, so that when I fry it, it will not splatter. I'm heating up about 2 teaspoons of oil, not too much. Now can you see that the oil is beginning to bubble up and there's a little bit of steam? I will pour in the anchovies. Can you hear the sizzling? You may wonder if you can eat the anchovy head and tail and bones. You can actually eat it entirely on its own. And in fact, the bones are high in calcium, so you may want to eat that. If you're concerned, if you have any allergic issues, if you have problems with sardines and tuna, then you probably may not want to try this. It is actually highly rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and it's supposed to lower the triglycerides. It is also high in calcium, as mentioned earlier, high in minerals, for example, iron, potassium, magnesium, and high in calcium, good for bones and teeth. You don't have to keep stirring it. On the other hand, you have to once in a while so they will not get burned. It takes patience. You can't do it shortcut. The fire shouldn't be too high, otherwise you will get burned without getting it properly cooked and fried. There is no evidence, but some believe that it is also good for reducing the risk of cancer. You just have to keep frying, and may I stress again, it's super important that the fish are dry before you fry them. Therefore, the draining of about 2 hours is necessary. Otherwise, you won't get crispy fish, because we are making a snack, and this kind of snack is good for having it with beer, wine, some kind of a tapas. We call it IKAN BILIS in Malaysia, Singapore, and it is actually a kind of anchovy. But since I don't have those from Singapore and Malaysia, which are usually smaller in size, they're still white little fish anyway. These are actually from Japan. Anchovies is a kind of superfood, which is also good for brain and even heart. Very unfortunately though, it is high in sodium and definitely very high in cholesterol. The LDL dietary cholesterol is very high, so it may not be very healthy. Though it says that it's good for omega-3. So there's some kind of a opposite theory there, or maybe it's not opposite, it's good for one and not so good for the other. So what to do? Perhaps we just have to eat in moderation as usual, and don't just keep eating. I've got to warn you though, if you like this, you can't stop eating it, just like when you eat chips and stuff. Normally, when people fry this, besides the oil that has been added into it, they may put some salt, and if you can tolerate sugar, they will put some sugar as well. It is not only sweeter in taste and nicer, it is even more flavorful because sugar actually caramelizes a little bit and therefore make it very delicious. But for me today, I am not going to add sodium, meaning salt, and I'm not going to add sugar. But I will add a little bit of pepper flakes. When I mean pepper flakes, I mean chili pepper. So I toss it once in a while, but not too much, because these little fish are actually very fragile. I don't want, it to disintegrate and with all the heads coming off. So just enough to ensure it doesn't get burnt, because I use very little oil. Only less than 2 teaspoons of oil for this entire bunch of fish. But just in case if you feel that there is insufficient oil because the fish is not crispy enough, you may add sesame oil instead, so at least there's fragrance in the oil. Just a little tiny bit. So just a little tip for you, before you add any salt, I would prefer that you taste it first, because these are fish and they already have their own saltiness from the sea. So if you need to add, then you add, otherwise it may be too salty for you and it's not healthy. Now it's almost ready. And another way of doing this is actually to fry some peanuts, roast it, and when the peanuts are almost done, then you fry this in, or you fry them both separately and then toss it together when they're ready. So I hope you like this dish. It is almost done. Enjoy it with your, well, some alcohol, whatever, yeah, in front of the TV watching Olympics. Hope you like this video. Bye bye.